10 a.m. Mountain Time to show you the junk that we got for free or close to it, and we give you ideas on how to make over your own projects. Everything we sell at JamieRayVintage.com and our retail store in Lehigh, Utah. Today we have 2 fun boxes. We picked them up at a charity shop in England. We very seldom pick up, careful though, that's what paint. Very seldom pick up project pieces, but we bought these for a very specific reason. Why did you buy these?
Well, because they're shaped like art boxes. They may have even been art boxes. They're too big to be like a traditional briefcase. And they're not crazy old. They're made out of plywood, but they did dovetail the ends on these boxes.
But why did we actually buy them? Like, what? Remember what the purpose was?
We got them because we needed to get platters home.
Exactly. I saw these at the charity shop, and I was like, those will help my platters arrive alive. And they did. Nothing broke that was inside these. So when you are, if you ever do what we did, which was crazy, then you should look for things that you can box up and ship. I think these actually we put in our suitcases, but things that you can take home and resell, but that will also protect the items that you're shipping. So we get asked a lot of questions like, how do you ship things home and get so much in there? And that's because we put stuff inside of stuff inside of stuff. There was very few empty spaces. You might be noticing that Zeb and I brought home more small items than we ever have before. And that's because we wanted to fill up every crevice and space with something small. It's a good use of space. It also helps things to not get broke when they're like packed really tightly.
We still have, 12 boxes in the garage that we haven't gone through?
Yeah, we have 12 more boxes.
We did a big run last night. We opened another box and did a lot of the miscellaneous stuff that had been sitting out.
Well, there's some things that I unboxed, and I know that there's more that goes with it, so then I have to wait. And easily, yesterday we only got 1 box listed of the England stuff. If you haven't checked it out, definitely go to the website, because I had to also load up this week's thrift haul. But I think today I should be able to get 2 more boxes. And what we're trying to do, I can't promise it'll always be this way because it's a lot and kind of overwhelming. What we're trying to do is list by a certain time in the day and just keep them drafted and then make the items active. And then we send a push notification and then share on social media that we've uploaded. So that way you guys know. But it's going to always be between 4 and 5 p.m. every day. Tomorrow's Halloween, so there will not be any uploading tomorrow, and never on Sunday.
So we might get a bunch of stuff done this afternoon, but we have to finish. We're going to be finishing tomorrow's video this afternoon. So that'll go up.
We'll still have a video out tomorrow, so make sure you're watching.
People often ask us, is there going to be a video when we're late sometimes, or if we're thrifting a lot? I don't know. If you can remember a time, let me know. But I can't think of a time except for when we were in England. We missed a couple live streams, but we still uploaded videos, like 4 or 5 videos a week for like the last 6 years, 7 years.
It says my mic is off.
It says your mic is off?
Yeah.
You got it hanging way over there again.
No, it's not.
It's on.
That's why I always wear it. No, but they can't hear me.
They can't hear you. I guess that one's just on the front. We'll just leave that one right in the middle.
Okay. Can you hear me now if I would just put this in between us? Sorry, I don't know why.
I'll have to look at them. We wear things out. It might be time to just get new things, new camera, we've had the camera for about 5 years now. So, all right, got the hardware off of that. We are replacing these handles. They're like probably were a chrome at one point, and then this is plastic on mine. Same with Jamie's. Hers is brown, mine's black. I'm just gonna pull that off real quick, and then we have cast iron fixed handles that we're gonna be using.
So these were £5 each, which I felt like was a really good price for handmade boxes. And I've already painted this white with white linen because I'm going to be using our large format Christmas decoupage tissue paper. We haven't used tissue paper in forever. We have a ton of designs. They're 20 by 30 or 20 by 29, something like that. And I believe, what are they, $6.95 a sheet?
Yeah, I think so.
So they're really good value for the size. They're not as thick, and the ink is not as vibrant because it's tissue paper, but a really good economical way of crafting. And this Christmas postcard paper is like amazing. Sorry, I'm taking off the hardware. I probably should have done this already, but I decided when I got started that I wanted to not paint the hardware, and I know you're shocked, but I really like this hardware. It says England on it, and it's kind of rusty and cute, so I don't want to get paint all over it.
Oh, that is really raised up. I'm gonna have to sand that.
All right, can I have your drill?
Yeah.
Thank you. Ivy loaded up listed the decoupage link. We got Ivy on here this morning instead of Caitlin, just helping us out. They really put way too many screws on this. Like, oh, I thought that was random. There's actually holes for the screws they put on here. There's 5 screws for one handle. That is like next level.
I really didn't want it coming off. All right, I'm just gonna pop some glue in here. I was gonna use some air dry clay. We like to use that to fill holes. Maybe. Oh, that's plugged up.
Yeah, mine's really raised too. So I'm gonna show you. You guys see right there how it's kind of raised and splintery. So we're gonna have to fill that and then sand it. I'm gonna take off the hinges too. But while that's drying, I can work on the top, which is the more interesting part of what I'm gonna do. Because the rest I'm just gonna paint in barn quilt. So it's just gonna be red.
Jamie's going Christmassy. I think I'm gonna go more of like a year-round theme on mine.
I'm not as good with the power tools as Zeb is.
You got that. You can do it.
Well, no, I need you to do it because they push them in really hard, and I don't want to.
Oh, you're gonna strip it out, are you?
Yeah, they're already slightly stripped.
Oh, you're taking the back hardware off as well.
Should I not? Well, yeah.
I would just leave those hinges alone.
Just paint those?
Just paint
Okay.
them.
All
The
right.
front ones are a little different, but those ones I just leave alone.
All right. I'm gonna go get barn quilt.
All right, glue got its boogie cleared out.
Blue boogie.
Okay, I'm gonna wipe off the excess and then sand a little bit, and that'll be filled. Hopefully you guys can hear us as we're wandering around here, okay?
Anybody working on some Christmas crafts? Let us know what you're working on. You two are the Energizer bunnies. We have been busy. Like, we came home and hit the ground running. We were smart in that we didn't have to film any content last week except for our live video or our live videos. So that was nice to already have it. We are going to put up, I think, either this Friday or maybe next Tuesday, we'll have the final England video up. But it's hard because some people love the England videos and some people just want us to go back to our regular content. So Thursday's video will be bins and some sort of DIY. We have plenty of stuff to paint in the garage. And then maybe Friday we'll throw up the England. I think he already has it sequenced. So
Yeah, I just need to put it together and do like a sign out.
oh, that's fun. Christian says we used the IOD transfers we purchased from you and did about a dozen crafts already. We still do have, you guys, what's the transfer? We have about 30 of the Christmas velvet. Is that what it is?
I think so. I know we have a ton of the, because we ordered a bunch. Because I was worried IOD would sell out, and they have sold out of a lot of stuff, but we have a lot of the foils left still, which are great with the gold that they bring to. They're like really shiny gold. They're great for ornaments. We'll have some crafts coming up with them and give you guys ideas.
What is that one called?
I don't know. I don't know.
I
what
gotta
you're
look it
thinking
up.
of.
Sorry, guys.
I'm not a mind reader this morning.
You're not a mind reader?
No.
Transfer.
Some days I do all right guessing what you want to say.
I'm just trying to find the name of the Christmas transfer we have left.
Okay, so much like if you saw, it was Monday's video, the book boxes that I did, I'm going with white on the top because that's going to get decoupaged. And then I might do the rest another color. I do have some DIY paint out because I might want to build like some texture. I feel like DIY takes the wax really well, whereas the cottage color, the wax just kind of sits on top. The DIY paint, the wax absorbs down in and you get a different look.
Crimson Velvet.
Oh, there you go.
We still have that transfer, and Ivy just linked it. Crimson Velvet. That's the one we still have. So we ordered a ton, so I'm shocked that we still have any because they were so popular, but glad that we were able to get enough of those. The other two have sold out. So make sure if you want that transfer that you get it ordered because I think we have about 30 left. And 30 might sound like a lot, but we've sold hundreds and hundreds of IOD Christmas transfers because they're limited edition. All the Christmas stuff is. I'm going to paint this in Barn Quilt. This is a built-in sealer. The reason why you're wanting to put white underneath your decoupage paper, especially the tissue paper, it's critical, is to make that image more bright and crisp.
Okay. Now,
what is the best brush for decoupage? Really anything.
I mean,
fine.
So once you can get the paint down on the decoupage paper, I mean, if you're talking about wanting the sealer to be smooth, I've been actually, you're not supposed to because you got to like almost wash immediately, but I've been using the DIY brush.
Oh yeah, they're very soft.
Because it's so soft and it doesn't wear your paper out. Like you can do a few passes.
It's not going to overwork your paper.
Yeah.
As a stiffer brush, you got to be careful not to overwork your paper.
This one's got kind of an angle. I can't remember the name of it. Good luck getting me to keep track of the thousands of names of all the products we have
literally
these days.
sell thousands of products. Every product line we have
It's
has
the
really
2-inch DIY brush. How about that?
We don't even know all the names of the products we manufacture. That's where we're at. All right, I'm crocheting origami grandpas and grandma figures to put in a miniature Christmas room. Oh, that's cute.
All right, I'm going to dry this real quick. I have some medium paper printed up. I'm debating whether I want to do like the sheep on here and also chime in which direction. The handle is up here. I think I want it so that when you're carrying it, it's upright. I think that's the way I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I would do it that way.
This morning, I was going to do those candlesticks that I got in Monday's video. So many comments about how those got so much hate. The hate mail for those candlesticks was so strong that now I feel like I have to do them justice. And they are bad. Like, admittedly, like when I saw them, like I would never use them in their current situation. They're the gold with like the summer flowers on them and the shape is not good. So I am going to be giving it a serious makeover.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, you need it. That's okay. Just let that dry.
And let it dry, and then I'll fix it.
And then we can sand it smooth and put some glue in it.
Yeah.
And if we need extra more than just the glue, I do have the air dry clay out to fill those holes. But yeah, I might include that in tomorrow's video. I might do those this afternoon.
That would be fun.
And give them a makeover.
I feel like you got to do it in the video that like close, because people kind of lose interest, right? But if people watch yesterday's video, then they're going to want to see the next video to see how you make them over. Kind of like when you watch a series and they hook you. You gotta have a hook.
I will be right back. I gotta run into the basement. I had a paper printing, and we'll make a decision together.
I mean, the biggest work that those candlesticks are gonna have is he's gonna have to use a heat gun to get all the hot glue of those lovely cheap dollar store flowers. Some dollar store flowers aren't too bad, but some of them they don't really enhance things. That's why I thrift my greenery. Because I'm cheap, but I also want it to be quality. All right, so I'm going to paint the bottom of this when it's dry. And I'm going to pull this around my side. I got a little bit of red over the edge, which is fine, but I'm just going to smear it so that way it dries quick. I'll heat gun this, and then I will be ready to decoupage. I need a drink. Do you guys ever like know you need to eat, but you can't eat because you got a lot going on? And that's me in protein shakes. And this is not a protein shake commercial by any means.
All right, that's dry enough. I don't think I'm gonna get any. I'm gonna go set this outside for a second. Actually, no, I need it here. All right. So this is the medium paper. It's pretty much gonna cover up the entire top of this. So we have the sheep, and then I printed out 2 of those just in case I needed to
be careful because you're getting it in my paint.
Extend my design a little bit. And then we've got poppies on the beach. I wanted to do something that would be more of like a year round on mine. And then we also have, I think these are wildflowers is what these are called. I named them, but it's been months, and once I name them, I don't look back. And these ones here, I would have to spread the design out and do it vertically, I think. I have used them sideways, and it actually looked really good. But I'm leaning towards the sheep one because I feel like that's a really nice work of art.
I got paint on my shake jar here.
Oh no.
I know.
I'm leaning towards this one right here. What do you guys
Good thing
think?
it's non-toxic.
And then if we do that one, I think I want to do like a different color.
Medium rice paper, we do not. Leslie, you know we don't have larger rice paper.
We have.
You know that.
It's coming soon though.
But it's coming.
We got to figure out how to ship it to you good.
We've had a lot going on. People ask us what we're doing for Halloween tomorrow. We actually have a very important court date that we're going to for family. I'm not going into details because it's not my story to share, but it's been a year-long David and Goliath type situation. So that's what we're doing for Halloween. And then we're going to come home and trick-or-treat with Jack and pass out candy.
Okay, I think once we get this on the box, it's going to look really cool.
Our family could use like whatever your faith-based system is, like all the well wishes, definitely prayers. We believe in the power of prayer for us tomorrow. If you've seen us at all like frazzled or stressed out or maybe tired in the last year, it's probably been due to this particular situation. And so it's just a lot. All right, I'm trying to decide, Zeb, do I want to like just cut off from the bottom? I think that's probably going to look the best.
Yeah, I think that's fine. And then you have these ones won't have like the heads cut off, and these ones won't necessarily be floating. They'll be cut off on the bottom.
I just want to make sure nothing looks weird. Thanks, guys. We appreciate that. Sometimes it's hard to like have social media and then have life behind the scenes. And I hate it when people like they look, which is why we haven't really talked about it a whole lot, but it's so important. And it's been very much something we've been involved in. So, all right, I'm going to just see where I need to cut this. I'm thinking maybe I'll just wet the edge so I can tear it, and then I can get it going. I should preface this is not a criminal court case. Nobody's going to do it.
Yeah.
All right.
I think now that let me see comments. Oh, everybody's just okay. Sheep. You've distracted everybody. Now they're all praying.
Oh, sorry. Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with being distracted by prayer.
Nope.
It's going to be all day tomorrow. So we got to get everything done for tomorrow today. So that's how we're getting tomorrow's video all finished up. We've already done the fins footage. Jack tried on his costume last night, came in the mail. We have to give him a Spock haircut before he goes trick-or-treating. He's going to be Jack-in-a-Box for his school costume, but he's going to do Spock for trick-or-treating.
He's been growing his hair out so that we can cut it straight across because, probably 4 years ago, he cut his own hair and his bangs were like super high and tight and he looked like Spock. And so this year he's actually we got the costume, we're doing it. He's been growing his hair out so he can have like the long pointy sideburns like Spock has. And he looks like a ragamuffin because he needs a haircut super bad. But he's been, today's the day. It's going to his bangs are getting chopped straight and we're going to let that ride.
If you guys remember our giant jack-o'-lantern trick-or-treat bucket, that's what he's going to trick-or-treat with. I used it for trunk-or-treat, but we don't really have that many kids that come to our house. Most everybody in the neighborhood goes to trunk or treat. So we passed out, I don't know, probably 4 big full-size boxes of candy from Sam's Club. We had a few double dippers at trunk or treat, which is fine. All the kids, it was at church, and they're all my kids that I teach music to every week on Sunday. And so I am always so excited to see those cute kids in their Halloween costumes. And I know not everybody celebrates Halloween. We celebrate like the kids getting dressed up and having fun and candy.
Celebrate the kids.
Celebrate the kids.
It's time for a new jar. This is it's like glued shut.
When you did tomatoes the other day, some must have spilled. There's like tomato seeds.
Oh, I'm sure. I was.
There's tomato seeds under that jar.
I canned. We had a pretty hard frost last night, and I was trying to beat that. So I canned. After we got home, I gave it a couple days, and then I went and picked all of the ripe tomatoes that were left. There's actually probably some green ones that down in the
They're probably
bushes
still okay.
that might not have gotten frozen that we could go pick.
Yeah, and I was in charge of all the peppers.
But I got
freeze-dried
14 quarts of marinara sauce out of that this week. So, but now I'm all done canning. I do have a bunch of dried corn that I need to take off the cob and vacuum seal. I've been using it. I got to find a good corn grinder that I think they make one that works with our KitchenAid. I want to do my own corn mill for like, can't even think of what they're called. Anyway, cornmeal mush, and then the cornbread. I don't know why I was spacing cornbread. And do that with the corn. I don't have a ton, but I'm going to grow more next year. The big plants.
All right, when you're done with that, I need that. But I'll wait a second. Look how good this barn quilt next to this paper. Like it's almost an exact match.
We didn't even plan that.
I didn't even plan it. Barn quilt and juniper are so pretty for Christmas. If you have not ordered your Christmas paint for crafting, I would get barn quilt, juniper, white linen, and anvil. Those 4 colors will carry you through with some glitter, whatever decor you need for Christmas. I actually, either today or tomorrow, I'm going to put German glass glitter on the website. I've been seeing a ton of people crafting with glitter. I'm obsessed with the German glitter. I have these huge bags for me. And I thought about like portioning those out, but I was like, my employees are going to hate me if they have to portion out glitter. So I just ordered pre-portioned glitter that we're going to sell.
All right, handle goes up here. Make sure we're getting this on right.
Buttercup, we do not know. We have not heard back from the people that
the gal that purchased her. I was like, hey, message me and let me know how she's doing for you. If you need any pointers or tips, like her and I have like a pretty solid relationship. They can probably tell you what to do to help you out. And they never messaged me back. They took her and we never heard again.
It's a little different than like selling a dog or a cat. Like to us, she was not just livestock. She's family,
livestock,
but like livestock is just a different world. And maybe the lady got busy. Maybe she lost her number. You know, life happens.
She was nice. So I was confident she was going to a good home. And maybe she ate her. That happens with cows.
I don't know why you would.
I don't know why you would eat a perfectly good milk cow that was A2 certified.
Yeah,
because that's a big deal these days. So
she had many years of milking left in her, and that's pretty. It's worth.
She was 6, so she had at least 4 more good years.
We sold her for more than we paid for her. Hold on, I just missed a spot.
Yep.
Because she's worth quite a bit, and it's getting more popular. No, she did not have a calf because she wasn't pregnant when we sold her. That's part of the reason why we sold her, because
we didn't want to wait. I had
dried. We thought she was pregnant, so we stopped milking her, so she was all dried up.
I thought she was pregnant and almost due because she was acting like that. But
no, she was just eating.
I should have had the vet come out and test her, and I was cheap and didn't.
We did not preg check her. All right. The thing about the decoupage paper is I kind of like to work at little sections at a time. It does not, it can wrinkle way more than the rice paper. Not as wrinkle free. You know how there's like wrinkle free fabric, like the rice paper.
The rice paper is the polyester of the fabric.
It's the per pail of decoupage paper, rice paper. It's also more expensive. So, and this is a big area to be covering. All right, I'm just going to go with it. You can iron it, and that does help. The iron-on method is you can lay down the medium, then put the paper on, then put a piece of fabric, iron it, and then decoupage again. I'm not like horribly worried about wrinkles because I feel like it just adds to the texture. I'm going to show you guys where we're at here. Look how pretty that is already.
That would be good for not only displaying like around the holidays, but then when you're done, you could put all of your fragile ornaments in there.
Yeah.
And store them.
You know what? One of my favorite things to do with this particular paper is to cut it out, put it on like cardboard or something or cardstock, and then put glitter around the edge. Like this paper really looks good like that.
All right, you're getting your hair in the.
Sorry.
in the patina here.
What was the green color? Juniper is the good one that I like. Juniper. It's like a foresty green, but not quite foresty green, with slight blue undertones, like almost a sagey, and so it just pairs really well with barn red.
All right, I'm done. I'm about to the point where I'm gonna overwork this, but I wanted to really cover it good on this plywood. So we got that on there. I will probably sand cut it. Now there are quite a few wrinkles in this, and I've seen it before. I always get nervous and fuss with it too much. And then when it dries out, those wrinkles go away. Something in my...
I do have to say that the rice paper does take a little bit more, decoupage medium. So be generous with it because it's a thicker paper.
So more liquid patina.
Thicker paper. Whereas this tissue paper, you can use the liquid patina and it doesn't require as much to fully saturate it. Although this rips very easy. So don't overwork it. Don't overwork it. Okay. I should have brought a backup project because I'm not really in the mood to like heat gun this, but I will. And I am going to
bring the box in and we could get a base coat on that.
What box?
I have that big box from like 3 thrift hauls ago.
Oh, good. I did it right. This is the top because that's where the handle goes. So you can like, what I think this would be cute too, is just to put this next to a Christmas tree. It's okay. I need to paint the back anyways and the sides dry. So I can work on that while the front dries.
I kind of like the age on this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clear wax the box. I was going to paint it. I think I'm just going to, this is pretty, it's not a primitive print, but it definitely has like an old world feel to it. So I think I'm going to just leave the box alone and just clear wax it to kind of seal it up and see if that richens the wood tone up on it.
Oh, so Ivy already has the glitter drafted. As soon as the glitter is shipping, we'll add it to the new to JRV collection. Definitely check out the new to JRV collection because Ivy has been listing like crazy. I got a bunch of cute new towels in. So fun stuff in there. I did reorder those embroidered jackets that sold. I think they might have sold out or pretty close to it. I ordered another round of those, so hopefully those will ship. Let me double check and see when the glitter is coming. Because I know I should have ordered it a long time ago, but I'm not. Oh, it's shipping today. So as soon as we know that the glitter is shipping, we'll go ahead and add that, make it live on the website. Somebody said not to paint yours. They like the look of the natural wood.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think we're going to do that. I have this tote from a couple weeks ago.
I need to not be heat gunning this. It needs to just stick down. I know better. All right, I'm going to go stick. Do you think the sun is warm enough to dry?
Yes.
It was supposed to snow today. Snow flurries.
So
The sun came out.
it just froze hard. We didn't get
Oh,
any
that's so
flurries.
wrong.
Everything seems to be working. There's something that's wrong. Everything needs to be working.
Okay, so we have this tote here. It's got the divided inside. This is also made out of plywood from a couple weeks ago on the thrift haul. I can't remember how much it is. Ivy may have the link. I don't know. I don't expect her to be able to find it fast. I think I'm just going to paint it, and then because it's got like all this kind of weird. It's like they were going to paint it and they never did. They like, oh, you can see the corn there. It's just old.
I'm going to put comments.
I'm going to put mine out to dry too, and then we'll cut it and wax it.
Did you guys get the text? I didn't see mine come through. I was looking for it to like go to the. See if I can find us on here.
I don't think I'm going to pull the corners off of this, and it's got a big piano hinge on the back, but I am going to pull the handles off real fast.
Leslie says she wants all the totes and wood boxes, but she doesn't need any more. That's half the battle, is knowing when to stop shopping. Let me make sure I've got all the questions.
Okay. So this was brass. It's looking pretty rusty. It was at least brass colored. Oh, flatheads.
Terry, the cordless glue gun that we use, I will pop that up. Hold on just a second. Let me get it.
It takes the Milwaukee M18
it's an
batteries,
off-brand.
but Milwaukee doesn't make the glue gun, so we had to venture away. But it's worked well, and it works with all my batteries. What do you think on this, Jamie? Just white? Should we go with like a darker color? And do we have weathered wood or anything like that? I could just go. Do we have enough provincial? That would look good on here.
All right, I dropped the link. Vicky, if you asked a question, you'll have to ask it again. I'm looking at pulling through now because we're filming with our webcam. You guys are like 3 feet away from me, and the font is about this big, and I can kind of see it, but it's not that great. So you have to ask again.
All right, we'll bring those boxes that we were just doing back in a minute. They're just going to dry out in the sun, and then we'll get a coat of this. Jamie, can you go hunt me down the provincial?
Yeah.
If we have enough to paint this box.
I'll take my phone with me in case I see Vicky's question.
Okay.
Provincial? I don't know if we have enough.
I thought we had a bunch, but we might have used it. If we don't, let's do some gray skies and add something into
I
it.
have crockery and provincial.
Oh,
That might be
crockery.
enough. There's a little bit of each.
Should we mix them both?
All right, let's see if Vicky's question is.
Oh, those
I
are.
put a transfer on a velvety background for a picture frame. Would you seal it? No. I mean, you could, but you would change the texture of the velvet. So would I do it? No.
And it might
but-
just bunch up on you and be weird.
Yeah, I don't think it would react very well. But I can't promise that it's going to hold up long term on velvet because that's a total off-label use of it. So at your own risk. But me personally, I wouldn't do it.
Props to you for getting the transfer to stick to velvet. That sounds wild to me.
Oh, Ivy got her text. I just didn't get it. So I don't know. So I think sometimes too, like the texts go out to certain groups. I don't know. I think Caitlin had something like that happen. I don't know. It's fine.
Okay.
So velvety background for a picture frame. Is it like the whole picture you did it? I'd love to see that. If you are in the Jamie Ray Vintage group, Vicky, share that so I can see what you're working on. Oh, it's a velvet matte. Yeah, I wouldn't seal it. I think it'd be okay. If you're gonna resell it, like I don't know, you might want to tell people it's off label. All right. I'm
We
gonna
got about 25 minutes here.
if you're just tuning in, we've got decoupage paper drying in the sun.
So I
we'll go grab
mixed
that in a minute.
provincial. You can see it's this nice taupey gray. And then crockery, which is like a really good brown cream. And it looks a lot like antique crockery. So I'm mixing the two here so that I have enough to paint this whole box.
Robin, it's in Facebook. It's called Jamie Ray Vintage Group. Make sure you answer the questions that are in it. And it's a free group. There's over 20,000 Jamie Ray Vintage followers on there. Zeb and I are in there. We try to look at, we obviously don't see everything, but we try to look at that page often to see what people are doing, respond to questions. It's just a great place for like-minded people to interact. And a lot of times we don't even have to answer the questions because there's other people in the group that follow us enough to know the answers. And so it's fun. But
well, we were getting tons and tons of people like, where can I show you what I made with the stuff I got from you? And so we made the group. It's a place for you to share your projects.
Yeah. They did a very good job with their pen work here.
I know, but I'm not sure.
I don't really know what they were going for. Like, I think they probably were going to paint it.
Yeah, it never got painted.
We should have finished their project, try to repaint it. But it's kind of weird the way they layered it.
I'm all right. I don't want to repaint this. I think it was probably meant to be like a barbecue box or something.
Thanks, Ivy. She linked the Facebook group. I wish that YouTube would do something similar, but they don't. And so if you're not on Facebook and you ever need to get a hold of us, you can also email info@jamierayvintage.com. If you're using some of our products and you have a question, Kaylin is our full-time customer service manager. I can preface it with, if it's not our project or product, we aren't going to be able to give you advice on it because we only use the products that we sell, and we're not experts in other people's stuff.
I mean, we branch out occasionally, but
Yeah, it's not.
there's only
It's
so
not
much
what
time in the
Caitlin is
day.
there for. You know, she's there. We have a ton of products that we sell that we cover, and she's definitely there to help our customers out or our followers with our products. And I don't want to give somebody advice on something because even if I used it like many, many years ago, it's possible the formulas change. Like your best bet if you're using a product is to get a hold of whoever you bought it from. And if they don't help you, then that might be a good indication that there's maybe another product to use, because I feel like people should always back up their products and offer support. We missed a couple from England who said hi to you. Scroll back. Well, hello, couple from England. Guess I don't see it. So there was somebody who commented, they were actually at the jumble sale that Zeb and I were at, and they commented on the video that they saw us, but they weren't sure it was us, and they were too nervous to say hi. I'm like, how many Americans wearing a Lehigh hat are in England at a jumble sale? So we sell a 24-hour clear cast, but Ivy just ordered some new stuff specifically to use with the cloche mold. So we will have it soon. If you email info@jamierayvintage.com, we can let you know as soon as we get that in. We got some stuff in, but it was the wrong kind. It yellows when it's in the sunlight. And so we shipped that back. And then Ivy ordered a new product to make sure we got the right one that we wanted.
And this is covering good. It made like a really, I must not have had too much provincial left in the bottom of this, because it still seems like it's mostly crockery. It's like a really good, like gray, brownish tan cream color that I got.
Leslie said, I'm scared of resin. You know, if you're scared of resin, clay is a really great option. You can also back it with felt or cardboard to make it more rigid if you want to make ornaments out of the clay as opposed to resin. And you do need to like definitely follow the directions. The thing about using resin that you have to take into account is it's a science project. So you have to make sure that all the variables are correct, that the measurements are correct. And then also make sure you're in a ventilated area and that you're like, some of them are more potent than others. So just be careful with all that kind of stuff. There's directions on the box, follow them. No matter what you see people do on social media, follow those directions. Oh, somebody just bought your box, so no pressure. Better be
this
awesome.
one?
Yeah, Marlene just bought it.
All right.
What up?
I was going to do like a big green sack stencil, but I'm really liking the look of those medium papers on the box.
And Marlene is local, so the gals don't have to ship it. Right now, we have sold so much stuff from England. I think we're about at our break-even point for expense. So now we're into profit mode from our laboring and all the effort getting to England, getting home from England, catching up and everything. We're to that profit point, but it's been awesome. And the gals have been working really hard, shipping out those orders. I think we're at like 5 business days till they order ship right now, which I feel like is pretty good because we've sold hundreds of things from England, and everything requires extra like love and attention and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I've been spending hours. We got a lot of copper, and we got a lot of good copper, and some of it looks great, all tarnished up. And
should I show them what you've been working on?
Yeah, go grab some of those copper pieces. They're in the hall.
Where's the pot I was gonna keep?
They're in everything's in the hall. I just moved it all onto the mudroom bench. All right. My favorite thing about the cottage color paint, one coat on this, and honestly, like I could distress it and probably not have to do a second coat. It's pretty great coverage, and it's a sealer built in. So I could be done, but we're going to do more fun stuff to it.
So a couple of these, I don't know which ones we're going to sell, which ones we're going to keep, because I need to keep a set for myself.
This is like a gem.
So this is actually my old copper from France, and I am going to sell some of it. This is what it looks like when you get a look at that handle. It's all brown. And
this is what I've been doing to it.
It's what Zeb has been doing. Look at the difference between this handle and that handle. Like you can't even see this handle because it's so dark.
I just got some tin in. So we're going to re-tin these, and these pots will be usable. Like
Yeah.
you can cook with these once I get it retinned. I've been watching lots of videos. We will for sure test it out.
This is the best bowl ever. Look how gorgeous that is. I'm going to sell this one because I already have a French jam pot that I'm going to redo. This one will be all the way copper. So these types are jam pots, and you can make a jam in
It's
them
a
without
heavy
being
gauge
tin.
copper.
It's a heavy gauge, and it's made to cook in without the tin, but you don't want to leave stuff in here like long term. So you can make jam in copper pots. So this one will be listed, and
these are like little sauce pots.
the reason why I'm keeping some of these for myself is I've been loving them, but I do have exciting news. We've been talking about it for a long time. Anybody that follows us knows that Zeb and I love to cook from scratch, can, preserve, and we have a large family, and we also cook for the whole neighborhood sometimes. And the stove we have is fine, except for if you've got 4 big pots, they don't fit over the burners properly, and sometimes we just don't have enough space. So I have been doing a ton of research, probably for what, 2 years?
Yes.
Ever since we realized this wasn't going to be big enough. And I feel like these ovens don't cook quite evenly enough, which was really frustrating. I've been researching, and I've really wanted like a European stove, like the old school looking ones that are handmade and come in really pretty colors and really pretty like accents and stuff, but they're expensive, between like 10 to 20,000 for a stove. It's an investment piece. And finally, last night I looked, because I've been talking. Do any of you guys watch Exo McKenna? I've talked to her about her stove that she put in her cottage, and she bought a Hallman, Hallman, and it's the same manufacturer as ILVE, which is what is another stove company that's about twice as expensive. So I looked up Hallman. They had this gorgeous blue gray color with brass accents. The 48-inch version is what I'm getting. And it said on there that it was $4,900, which is still on the cheaper end of stoves that I'm looking at for this particular style. And it said, put it in your cart, it'll be less. And so I put it in my cart, and it actually went down to just under $3,500, like tax, everything, and shipping was free. So we will be doing when we bought this house, when we remodeled this house, these are Home Depot cabinets. They are not holding together very well. They've just been a cheap placeholder.
You can get good cabinets from Home Depot. These are the cheapest.
These are the
Home
cheapest
Depot
ones that they had. So our plan has always been for Zeb to build some. And then these countertops, we went with butcher block because we will just repurpose them into cutting boards. And then we'll sell the stove. And our sink, don't get the IKEA sink. It's crap. This is our second one. It's cracked in the bottom. It's not good quality, so it needs to be replaced. So we're going to put the new stove. We're going to sell the old stove, which we got this on clearance in the scratch and dent section of RC Willey anyways.
So what was happening with this stove is the gas made like a high-pitched whiny sound when it went through, and they tried doing all kinds of different regulators and things, and the customer that had originally bought it was like, I can't live with that. Get it out of my house. And I'm like, well, I'm willing to take the chance that I can solve that problem. We plugged it in. It's never whined once. Like they must have just had like a really high pressure or something.
Or maybe they got really good ears. I don't know. So it's, we'll sell this probably stove for around $500-ish. We'll clean it up really good. So we'll recoup that. And like I said, we'll repurpose all of our countertops into cutting boards and sell those, and we'll recoup the cost of that. The faucet is going to go to the cottage because the stove that I bought is brass. So I'm going to get a brass faucet to match the brass stove. And then we'll just take this faucet. Well, as long as it looks good with the sink that we're putting in the cottage. But anyways, it's going to be a while. It takes like 12 weeks because it's coming from Italy. And they like make them to order or whatever. So we've got some time. But I just want to tell you guys, because I'm excited. We've been wanting a new stove for a long time. And I finally found one that wasn't like ridiculous. So I'm hoping to get like a really high-end look on a budget that might, obviously $3,500 is still a lot of money, which is also why it took us forever to pull the trigger. But in comparison, I feel like it's a good value, especially for an 8-burner stove that we will be able to do so much canning, cooking, preserving. It's going to be a fun series. And we're also going to do marble countertops, but because the stove is so much wider,
it's going to be like 4 feet of marble.
We're going to have 2 little strips of marble on each side, and then just this section over here. So we'll be able to use remnants.
Most of our prep happens in the pantry and here.
Yeah, our prep space is our island, and we do have a big butler's pantry with a decent sized countertop in there. So I'm going to do marble. We won't ever be replacing this island countertop because this was made with wood from our house. But yeah, so super excited. That's why I'm saving pots, because my plan is we won't have a back on the stove. So I'm going to do a big brass rack and hang the pots like right here. It'll be gorgeous copper. All right, I gotta go check my box.
Your box is actually looking really good. It wasn't quite dry. I'm drying mine with the heat gun because we got about 12 minutes and I wanted to get this cut and show you the
I
wax.
want mine to dry all the way. I feel like the rice paper works better if you heat gun it, but if you heat gun the tissue paper, it doesn't work as well. So I'll just be on here answering questions. I have an old sewing machine that is tiger's oak and old varnish has turned pretty dark. I want to paint my TV stand that will set next to it. What color would you recommend to use? So the TV stand, what
You want
are
it
you
to match
leaving the
identical?
tiger's oak, or are you wanting to paint over it? I do think dark pairs well with like a creamy color. So you could mix white linen with a little bit of provincial and make a good cream. I think that would be good, but it kind of just depends on what you're looking for. Andrea says we bought a 5-burner stove in 2023. It's life-changing. That's awesome. This one is 5 burners, but they didn't.
So
it's
this,
only 30 inches, and you cannot use all 5 burners.
yeah, the stovetop is only 30 inches. Like if I'm like doing some gravy or something, and then we've got pancakes or whatever, if I'm doing like a full breakfast with like bacon and all the things and eggs and pancakes, like there's no room. My eggs are getting cold while I'm doing pancakes or something,
I do know that marble does stain badly. We're going to try to put something on it to help that. And I also don't mind a little wear. We actually have some marble on a desk in our dining room, and it's got stains on it, and I actually kind of like it. And it's not so much that if it's horrible that we couldn't just replace it. Because like we're going to use remnants. So it's basically scraps. And so if we don't keep it forever, I don't feel too guilty. I've always wanted marble. And I also have, so my backsplash is Carrara marble. And everybody said, oh, it's going to stain like crazy. I'll be honest, we haven't even sealed it. And it still looks fine. And we cook a lot. So you'd think it'd be really gross, but it's be fine.
Oh, that corner came up from heat gunning.
Anything that we're out of for Iron Orchid Designs is because they are out at Iron Orchid Designs. We always keep everything they have available in stock. So if it's out, we will reorder it. But currently, we're not able to get that mold. That's why it's showing out. Is your paint available in Europe?
We can ship to a lot of places, but it's not there.
It's not like we can ship it to you, but there's not like a retailer there. All right, I'm going to pull up comments on here.
Okay, so this is still kind of damp, so I'm trying to not crumple it up and mush it so that I can get a nice crisp edge. You can see. Oh,
oops. We will definitely be doing kitchen reno videos. I don't know if we'll put them on Jamie and Zeb or on Jamie Ray Vintage. It just depends.
You'll have to chime in. Last time we did this with the house, we started doing like lots of house videos, and we lost a bunch of people that just wanted to watch us thrift and paint. And then we went back to painting videos, and we lost a bunch of people that just wanted to watch house videos. And so we don't really have time to do multiple videos in our week for like 2 different channels, which is why the Jamie and Zeb videos haven't really been going up as much. We did it for a while and it was a lot of effort, and we're like, all right, we got to let something go.
The nitty gritty will probably be filmed on Jamie and Zeb.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense to put it on Jamie Ray Vintage. If we do like a final review and the reveal and do like some thrifting to decorate the kitchen, then that would be something that would wind up on Jamie Ray Vintage, because that's more of what that channel is about.
And next week we're pretty much done with all the big releases and everything. We went to England. If you're late to the video, Jamie talked about going to court tomorrow. That'll be behind us. Next week, I'm planning on hitting the cottage and at least working 1 day a week in the cottage, because I think if I do that, we can have the cottage finished before Jamie even gets her stove, and we got to start doing cabinets in here.
Yeah.
So watch for that. Hold me accountable. Say, Zeb, how come you haven't done the cottage yet? Because we've been talking for a year
we have a bunch of
now.
footage for the Jamie and Zeb channel we haven't used that we probably just won't use because it's not really relevant.
I might just dump it and be like, here's a fun video.
Sometimes I feel like you get so far behind, or like, oh, I can't ever do it. So I wouldn't worry about it. All right, I'm gonna go check my paper and see if it's
I would at least show them. It still was wet in a couple thick spots, but it looks amazing. Her box is looking really good. Okay.
So it is still wet. I'm gonna let it finish drying, and then I will put a piece of fabric, lightly iron it. But it is turning out pretty great. I need to. Do you want to give me that glue so I can work on this part right here?
Yeah. Here, you're gonna need this too. It's like I would sand it first a little bit. Here, I'll do it for you. You get a splinter. We don't need that. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, we could do shorts. We definitely will do shorts of the kitchen. Shorts are easy.
Well,
We're also going to get the new iPhones here pretty quick, and maybe those will work better with Adobe Rush.
If I
If
could
I
edit
could
on
help-
my phone,
Yeah, if I could do the thrifting videos, because I used to edit those on my phone, if I could do them on my phone again, that'd be super helpful. Because, so did you sand this right after you
I
put glue in it?
just sanded it. This corner went back down on me.
I need the clay.
Yeah, I sanded mine afterwards.
Robin says, I'd love to see your house. We do have, if you guys are
There's like
new
100
here.
videos on this house.
Yeah, if you guys are new here, we do have videos of us when we did this house initially.
It's got a playlist. If you look down through the playlists, it's all organized in there from start to finish.
I want to paint my bathroom towel drying stand and a small bathroom cabinet in gray. What would you suggest, and do I need to seal it? I would just suggest using our gray skies. It has a built-in sealer, and it's rated for outdoors, so it would do fine in a bathroom. And then I wouldn't really bother using anything else to put over it. If it's like the top and it's going to get a lot of wiping down, then maybe you could use Sweet Pickens Final Finishes over it, and it comes in a lot of different sheens, so you could try that. But if it's just a cabinet that you're putting in there and you're going to wipe down occasionally, you could totally just, you don't need to seal it. You could just use the cottage color. Now, if it's super shiny, I would lightly sand it before you paint, but if it's not super shiny, you can just clean it, make sure there's no grease on it. That's the most important part. And then paint. All right, so I'm filling these holes with air dry clay, and then I'm going to sand this down. Try not to get clay in my shake here. Oh, I don't like the, is that the paper?
Yeah, I'm gonna dark wax it.
Oh.
So I'm going on with clear wax first, and then I'm gonna dark wax it, because if I were to just dark wax this, that's why I was doing that.
Yeah, I know, but that's where the hardware is.
Maybe got a splinter. If I was gonna dark wax this first, this wood is dry enough. I think it would just soak right down in. These are not listed yet. We've been waiting because we wanted to do them on a video for you guys. And you could do stencils on these. You could do your own artwork if you're good at that. I like to use the decoupage paper because I used to be halfway okay at art, but it's been a lot of years since I practiced, and these are cool enough. I wouldn't want to mess it up on here.
So we purchased these in Rye in England in a charity shop. I think they had more. We just only got two.
So they had two sitting there, and the gal's like, "Those are mine, but we have two more in the back."
Yeah.
Because they're pretty much volunteer work at their charity shops. They all are volunteers. And one of the gals was like, "I already got two for me, so let me go get the other two that are back here."
I got pretty good coverage with one coat of the barn quilt, but I will probably come back and touch it all up.
All right, so this is still damp, so I'm not going to seal on this. I probably will wax it so that the sheen matches. It does have a coat of the liquid patina over the top, but I'll wax it so that the sheen matches the rest of the box.
We will have 9 inches. Somebody said that the national something or other recommends 9 inches on each side of the stove. We will have 9 inches on each side of the stove.
Yeah. We're going to do another little cabinet over here. So it's 48 inches, and this is like 46 inches wide, the hood. So it'll go over just a little bit, but I'm not going to have to redo the hood.
And we're going to cut out. So like The cabinetry will actually go closer to the door so we can have a bigger cabinet on the left side of it because that's the only way we can fit it in there. So we'll have a few more inches that way, and then we'll get that 9 inches, and then we'll definitely have 9 inches over here. No, the Jamie and Zeb channel is free. You can go to Jamie and Zeb right now and everybody can subscribe. It's not a paid channel. We have a paid subscriber group where we meet twice a month and we send printable links and we just do painting and answer questions. But the Jamie and Zeb channel is not private. It's just our other channel that's more of a free-flowing blog style channel.
Like we have
it's where we put all the
and
things that don't necessarily fit on this channel and is like loose and free. It's not a family vlog by any means. Like occasionally our kids, you'll see them because they're in our life, but it's not a family vlog. It's just about all the other things that we do outside of thrifting and DIYing. And some of it is DIY, but it's just not the Jane Marie Adventure stuff. Deb and I have a lot of hobbies. They all are like beneficial to our family. They're not like random hobbies, but we do a lot of different things.
well, I was doing this copper. I'm like, Jamie, I love doing it so much. And like,
Yeah, he's like,
start
let's
to
just
finish,
go
I'm like, let's just go
copper.
around the world finding like really old copper and retinning it.
I was like, Zeb, I do not want to become a sweatshop. I'm good.
Jamie, she didn't buy in on that.
It's part of the reason that we're not doing the craft kits anymore is because I feel like we either become a sweatshop making 150 to 200 of something, or we have to buy something mass produced and create a craft out of it. And it's just too much. So we are going to be coming in, I think the end of November, December, we'll have our next monthly subscription that we're going to be offering. It's just going to be different.
It's not going to be craft kits.
Yeah, we might make a craft kit every now and then, but it might be like 20 to 50 available, and they're going to be like more exclusive and whatever it is that we feel like doing.
You won't have to subscribe. They'll just be available for you to buy.
But that'll be in the future. I'm just putting my second coat on here.
All right, look at that. How good that wax. That will lighten up a little bit. And it does, this paint is not from me. There's some gray paint on here too. Like someone used this in what I would call a painting or industrial type application before we got them.
So transfers will stick to paint without a sealer as long as it's super, super dry. And as long as there's not powder and it's not too chalky. So you said somebody asked if they could just put it on chalk paint. It really depends on the type of chalk paint you're using. The DIY paint, I have had it success, but it has to be very dry, like dry overnight type situation. It works best if there's a sealer on it. The cottage color, because it has a built-in sealer, they go on amazing. And then there's certain types of chalk paints that have less of a chalky finish, and I feel like they are fine. So it really depends on the brand of paint that you're putting it over. Whatever paint you use, it needs to be dry, and if you've distressed it, you better make sure every speck of dust is there because you want the best adhesion possible. Can you mix milk paints like colors? Yeah. And you can, any water-based paint you can mix. It'll change the properties of it, but we've mixed milk paint and DIY paint together in the past, and that does work. Like if you're trying to use up odds and ends, water-based to water-based will mix together, but the final product is going to be whatever the chemical makeup is. Like it might be a little more milk painty, might be a little more chalk painty, depending on how much you used and how they interacted. Are you putting the...
Yep.
So these are left over from the craft kits. If you guys order a craft kit, it should have been shipped. We still have some more. We will be having them available until the end of the month. Do we still have I can show you guys what it is in case you're...
I think it's over by where I keep the laptop. Jamie.
These craft kits are great if you're wanting to try out product while having to buy each one individually. It comes with everything you need to do to create this, the hardware, the wood, the decoupage medium, the white linen, and the paper that's custom for this kit. And then you get one foam brush and a piece of sandpaper. So, and just enough of each to complete the project. But if you're wanting to do this, our last craft kit ever for the subscription group. And it's not even really a subscription group at this point. We're going to turn off all subscriptions because we're not making any more. Yeah, we also sell milk paint that is just a base that you can add any kind of pigment to. So if you're really artsy fartsy and you have pigment, Most people do not keep pigments, but there are some people that do. You can make milk paint. You can make your own color.
If you're like me and you just want everything to be super custom and one of a kind,
Yeah. Probably not in my lifetime.
Man,
Am I going to do that?
the magnet in this, I've got to change this out. The magnet is not holding the drill bit. And it's going to frustrate me. Okay, got the handle back on. It does have latches that I will get back on. It's got a couple little wrinkles that's not dry yet. As it dries, it keeps sucking those down even farther. And then if there's any left after it's done drying, I will iron this and it will get really flat. I do have a little bit of wax that I left sitting longer because I want it to kind of dry out a little bit because it wasn't quite wide enough to fit across. So I have a little bit of the white border from the paper. I'm trying to hide that up, but you can see it pretty well.
So for copper, we typically clean it. We've used lemon juice and flour before, but we've recently been using ketchup and it works really good. And then Deb bought buffing wheels that you can get, like, where'd you get those? Harbor Freight?
So they had them at Home Depot, but they were out, and I got a couple at Harbor Freight, but I also ordered a big one off of Amazon.
Yeah, so just a buffing wheel. There's tons of videos on YouTube on how to do it. I would just do a little. It's good for you to watch the video anyways, but do a little research. You'll find the right buffing wheels. But yeah, ketchup. If you're just wanting like a light clean, not like a heavy duty ketchup, let it sit, and then Brillo pad. Careful, it might scratch it a little, so be cautious about that. But you can just also use a rag. It'll get definitely cleaner.
The Brillo pads will scratch it some.
They said your box looks very vintage.
Thank you. That's what I was going for. Now it's got a handle on the top, and we'll get these latches on there. These latches are cool. They say made in England.
I'm going to do the same pull on mine.
So Cheney, England. They don't say made in England, but
Cheney,
anyway.
England.
Even the latches, like they brand everything over there. I love it so much.
So these boxes will probably be like $69.95. They're good size solid wood, and we will get them listed once they're complete later today on Jamie Ray Vintage. If you guys need any paint products for your crafts or Christmas crafting or DIYs, visit jamierayvintage.com. Don't forget to check out our English finds. We will have more uploaded today by like 4 or 5. And if you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jamie Ray Vintage for more
DIY.
We'll see you guys on the next episode tomorrow.
Watch for those candlesticks that were horrendous.